services completed an exercise which is called technical and legal scrubbing. This is the process where legal and other services verify all the provisions, all the terms used in the agreement from a technical point of view. This process on the EU side has been completed. A similar process is taking place on the Armenian side. So I think that we can be optimistic that the hope expressed by Minister Nalbandian about signing the agreement during the Eastern part, important element in our bilateral agenda is the partnership priorities. This is a politically binding document where we charter out the avenues for our cooperation through a written procedure. Will adopt the partnership priorities. I cannot disclose to you the contents now, but the document is modeled on the so-called 4 Riga priorities. Those of you who are familiar with Eastern Partnership documents, they will know what I'm talking about. The third important element for our future cooperation is the development assistance, or what I call transformation assistance. And we are very advanced in preparing the single support framework, which is the document spelling out the priorities for our development assistance till 2020. On a personal note, I hope very much that by September we will be able to adopt this single support framework. We are working very hard on 2 action plans, action plan for 2017 and action plan for 2018. We are conducting now very intense negotiations with the government. A very important mission from DG NIA, and DG NIA is for their expression of support for what we do as the European Union and what we say as the European Union. We have received so many of such messages in the recent weeks, in particular during the Europe days, but also during the recent days, that we really understand that there are many people in Armenia who believe in us, who believe that the European Union is making a good job in Armenia. Sometimes, I can tell you, these were quite moving cases. People were calling our representation, expressing their support for what we do and what we say. Normally, Armenians call us to ask for support. This time, they were providing us with the support. This is the motivation for our work. For me, in particular, for my team, such support on the part of ordinary Armenians is a big boost. It's the source of our motivation. Of course, we accept humbly that there are people who do not understand or do not want to understand what we want to say and what we want to do. But nevertheless, for us, what is the most important is this expression of solidarity on the part of many, many thousands of ordinary Armenians. And this is reassuring, and I can tell you we will be doing our best. And as you know, I said it before, we want the ordinary Armenians to feel even more the impact of our work, in particular the cooperation assistance. We want the ordinary Armenians, the average citizen, to benefit more from what we can offer to Armenia and its development. Secondly, I have not come here to participate in public discussions. That's not my job, that's not my role. But of course, it is very positive when, for an outside observer, when Armenians are engaged in good, matter-of-fact, constructive discussion on important topics. So, of course, we would always be positive when we see good public debate in Armenia on crucial topics. What is important in such public debates is, of course, to follow certain basic rules. First, before you attack someone, check what was said. Check at the source. Listen to the tape, watch the video, and think before you jump to conclusions. Secondly, respect the interlocutor. Conduct public discussions avoiding personal arguments, respecting the roles that different people play, and so on and so forth. This would be my recommendation for the Armenians, because it's up to Armenians to discuss the matters affecting their future. Authorities through public statements. We have good working relations, good channels with the authorities, but also with other stakeholders. I don't need public statements to communicate messages, and I will not do it. Public statements are to inform the public opinion, the society at large, about what we do and what we think as the European Union. And that's the role of public statements. Nothing, no assessment, no opinion, no view expressed by me at public occasions, including today, is unknown to my interlocutors at the corresponding or competent authorities. And I want you to understand how it works, at least on my side. Concerning the question of elections, I want to simply confirm that the European Union has provided a big and substantial financial assistance, more than 7 million euros. Let's be clear, without this engagement on the part of the European Union and some member states, because as you know, there were also member states who contributed to the effort, and overall more than 90% of the external funding came from the European Union. Without this, the effort, the new technologies in particular, wouldn't be installed. But it's not a secret that our support to the electoral process went far beyond financing, far beyond technology. Maybe it's too early to speak about it in public, but I think that this financial dimension is the least significant of what we contributed to make elections in Armenia better than before. And here I want to stress very emphatically, we did it on explicit request of the Armenian authorities. We are doing it right now even. But the overall perception is, again, very positive. Now, in September or any time that would be convenient, but my message today is from the European Union, again, respecting sovereignty and all the rules of the behavior of diplomats. This is a positive move. Good. Last question. We have some money in our so-called FPI budget to support some of the journalist activities, but as such, we from here, from Yerevan, we do not at present carry out programs. However, there are very important programs which are being implemented within the Eastern Partnership program. And I know that quite recently some of the media outlets, independent media outlets, won new grants. At least I'm aware of one very significant grant by Gala TV journalists. There are also media projects financed by the European Endowment for Democracy. Again, I know of several Armenia independent media who benefited from these projects. So overall, I think that what we try to do is tangible. It may not be satisfying, neither for you nor for us, because I think that the question of the independence of media in Armenia is a very serious one. The market is very tough. Armenia is one of the countries where the market makes it very tough for media aspiring for independence